it's important for you to know how crazy things are in the people's house. Okay, so there was a vote yesterday to have the federal government certify that 16-year-olds can vote. That was voted down. But 125 Democrats in the House voted for it. They want 16-year-olds to be able to vote, 125. No Republicans supported the issue. The vote was sponsored by Ayanna Pressley, one of the squad, there she is, who is representing a district in Massachusetts. Now, the Bay State, I spent so much of my time there, I don't know. I mean, I can't even imagine what you guys up there are doing with this, and Elizabeth Warren, and I mean, what's going on? Anyway, that's done. But what isn't done is H.R. 1, the For the People Act, which passed the House yesterday, 220 to 210. Now, were you aware of that? Did you see that on any of the TV news? And keeping this real quiet. And I'll tell you why they're keeping it quiet. Now, Biden, and I'll get to him in a minute, supports the For the People Act. All right? There was only one Democrat in the House voting against it, Benny Thompson of Mississippi. Only one. So it passed 220 to 210. Now, I'm going to give you 10 things that would happen if the H.R. 1 is passed in the Senate, which it won't be. And I'll explain in a moment. Number 10, same-day voter registration. So you just show up and you can register, all right? Voter ID laws, you don't have to show an ID. Don't have to show one, all right? All convicted criminals who are let out get to vote. 15 consecutive days of early voting permitted every state. 15 days. It prohibits states from restricting a person's ability to vote by mail. Okay, they can vote by mail any way they want, anything. Okay, and it passes the Disclose Act, which require PACs and dark money political organizations to make their donors public. That's not a bad thing. That's the only positive thing I've seen. It bans, it creates a new ethics code for the U.S. Supreme Court, ensuring all branches of government are impacted by the new law. That means the Supreme Court couldn't overthrow any part of the For the People Act. So let me just give it to you. No voter ID, no voter registration. You can come the day of the vote. No limits on mail-in voting at all. You can count the votes months after. You can do whatever you want. So this is basically should be called Anarchy for the People Act. And again, Biden supports it. So the bill, H.R. 1, now goes to the Senate, where you'd have to get 60 votes because they'll filibuster it. To pass, it's never going to even come close to that. Everybody knows that, all right? It's not going to close. And even if it did pass, the Supreme Court would knock it down like that because the individual states have the right to put up rules about how you vote. Now, we need voter reform in this country. We need a congressional act signed by a president, okay, to say we shouldn't have unlimited mail-in voting. You should have to produce an ID before you vote. Canada does. Why can't we? Canada's a very liberal country. Why can't we? Mexico does. Got to show an ID. If you can't get an ID, which is impossible, anybody can get an ID, government will send you one. Send in a little letter. They'll send in an ID. Okay. So 20 attorneys general throughout the United States have signed a letter saying this whole thing, H.R. 1, is unconstitutional, which it is. It is. Okay, so don't worry about it. The takeaway for you, the honest American, is that the Democrats want this. They want chaos in every election because chaos works for them. So Joe Biden. Now, you all remember, because I got tons of mail, when I said, hey, I'm a fair guy. I believe in Judeo-Christian philosophy. And I'm going to give Joe Biden a chance because he asked for a chance. So if you come to me and say, O'Reilly, maybe I did something bad in the past, or maybe I'm misguided or was, but I'd like you to give me a chance because I'm going to try to live my life or do what I do in a positive way. I'm going to give you a chance. I am. Unless I know you and I think you're a charlatan. So I don't know Biden. I've met him once. I don't agree with his policies, but doesn't mean I'm not going to give him a chance. Well, now that's over. That's over. As soon as he supported this bill, which is flat out unconstitutional, and if passed, would ensure Democrats win every election forever. As soon as he supported that, I said, this isn't a guy who wants the best for America. Now, this is my opinion, but I gave him a chance, and now I know that Joe Biden is dangerous. All right? I used to say he was befuddled, which is, of course, true. Now I'm telling you, he's dangerous. He's a lot more dangerous than Barack Obama was. There's a big difference between the philosophy of Barack Obama publicly stated, and the philosophy of Joe Biden, who is absolutely got Stockholm Syndrome. You know what Stockholm Syndrome is? Remember Patty Hearst, Symbionese Liberation Army? They kidnapped her, and she became one of them? That's what Biden has. The progressives have kidnapped him in jail, held him in the basement for all those months, and now they're part of the team. Yeah, give me a P. Give me an R. Give me an O. So Biden's dangerous. Biden doesn't want a vibrant democracy. He doesn't want spirited debate. He's not going to hold press conferences. They're calling him Hiding Biden on talk radio now. All right? Not going to answer any questions. Jen Psaki will answer them. All Biden's going to do is what he's told. Now, who's telling him? Now, we've been over this and over this. Susan Rice is telling him what to do. The consensus goes to Ms. Rice, top domestic advisor, even though she has no experience in that area at all. The only experience Susan Rice has is she's best friends with Michelle Obama. That's all. She's a foreign policy expert. Well, okay. She's the one who misled the world about the Libyan situation, all right, where the 4 Americans were murdered. Anyway, Susan Rice is the liaison to the progressive far left. And they kick it around, discuss it, whatever it may be, and then the conclusions come to Joe Biden. So yesterday, Biden got 2. The first one was, yes, HR, the bill to make the elections corrupt, we're going to support that, and we're going to call the states of Mississippi and Texas and the other states who open up on COVID, we're going to call them Neanderthals. That's what Biden called them. Now, that was given to him. He didn't make it up. And he mispronounced Neanderthal, which I did too. It's Neanderthal. I didn't know that, but I don't care. A Neanderthal is a caveman. So Biden slams Texas and Mississippi and any other state that opens up because the progressives don't want the government to open up. Why? We went over this yesterday, because they want a strong central government, and they're establishing that now with COVID to tell you what you can and can't do, can and can't have. I think exactly what's happening. Now, if you think that I'm exaggerating or I back every single thing up. So the state of Florida, which from the very beginning in COVID took a moderate path, opposed to the state of California, which closed down the entire state, causing untold suffering. All right? California has more COVID cases than Florida. Yeah, population's a little bit more, but I'm doing proportion. And the California governor, Newsom, he's on his way out. They got 2 million signatures to boot him out of there. And that vote will be held in the summer because he's destroyed the state. Whereas DeSantis, the governor of Florida, he took a lot from the media, but that state is pretty vibrant now, Florida. And that's the best comparison you can always see. Now, did Biden say to DeSantis, hey, good job, Ron? Good job. You know, you coasted that right through and you didn't destroy small business in your state and people are coming there and nice job. That's the way all states should be. Did he do that? I don't think so. He'd never do that, Biden. So is he looking out for everybody? No, he's not. He's on the progressive train. I gave him a chance. So 40 days, he's had a chance from Bill. It's over. Can he redeem himself? If there's a miracle, if it's St. Paul on the road to Damascus, and all of a sudden, and then Paul becomes a very religious person, maybe Joe in the basement, I don't know.